too many people have got the wrong opinions. I'm sick of these overly shocked videos from Americans. We're like, oh my God, look at what Germany has. We don't have this in the US. Well, or you just haven't seen it. Hey everyone, how you doing out there? Thank you for watching this video. I want to talk a little bit about a topic that is quite common on one hand. Now, I'm an American living in Germany. My name's Eric. Welcome to my channel. I've been seeing this on other YouTube channels and everything from like Instagram, TikTok, that sort of thing. I see little video clips. It's always very common. Germans like seeing American reactions to some of the construction building type stuff, you know, like the windows is a big one. Okay, as far as the mechanical, yeah, it's cool. Your windows open and the tipping part is, we don't have that in the US. You know, we're still stuck on a sliding, either up and down or sideways type motion. Earlier today, I saw a couple videos on social media from one other American in Germany. He made one little clip talking about the windows, not about the way that they open, but he pointed out how thick and strong they were and how much better they were built. Like his particular window had 3 glass panes in it. And all of the comments that he was getting were focused on how much better this is in Germany than in the US. And I want to respond a little bit to all of you guys, my own audience. There's so much ignorance in that. You can buy windows like this in the US. Like, it's not, also the 3-pane windows, like the house that I live in has 2 panes, has 2 pieces of glass, you know, and I really think that this is the most common, not the 3, but it really depends on how recently your house was built and or if you had the windows recently replaced, which is also a big comparison factor. I think Germany is a little bit better at updating and replacing things that need to be compared to the average homeowner in the US. So therefore, you're going to have nicer, newer windows. That's just the way it is. Like someone in the US that built their house 40 years ago likely still has those windows in from 40 years ago because they've been fine. This idea that the windows are designed to keep the heat in and stuff, like we have this in the US. Come on. Like I'm from northern Wisconsin. The winters in northern Wisconsin are far more extreme than anything that most of Germany has ever known, like on a yearly basis. Like you get some snow in the mountains in South Germany, yeah, but you don't get the cold. You don't get maybe some of the mountains, okay? Disclaimer, the Alps are something different. If you live in the mountains, it's something different. But I grew up near the edge of the Lake Superior snowbelt, and I had a winter job. In my teenage years, I had a winter job shoveling snow off of roofs. And typically when it was about knee deep is when I would go up and shovel the roofs off. So like, there's some extreme weather. And with the cold and everything, we had windows that were designed, we have, you know, the US has windows designed to keep the heat in for the winter, and vice versa. Keep it cooler inside during the summer. Like this is no German engineering marvel. Other people have this. So step off that high horse. Sorry to burst your bubble, but the US has stuff like this too. And I was talking about the snow. So I can tell you how I've lived in places where there was lots of snow, but I've also got a lot of experience building houses. Now, Wisconsin, we get a lot of snowfall, some pretty extreme temperatures. Like in that part of North America, the difference between the hottest day in the summer and the coldest day in the winter is, sorry for my burp, is very extreme. Something like 160 degrees? Yeah, something about 160 degrees Fahrenheit change in difference. I don't know what that is in Celsius. But like this is on par with some of the most desolate areas of Siberia. Like where in Germany has such extreme change in weather temperature? There's nowhere, I guarantee it. Now, so I built houses there. I know how to build them to withstand a lot of weight of snow on the roof, and also for warmth, you know, keeping the house warm and cool, like warm in the winter, cool in the summer. And I also spent some time in Florida where hurricanes were a problem. You know, tornadoes are also a problem in Wisconsin, but depending on where, like the southern parts of Wisconsin. Now, so such heavy snowfall, you have to live in the mountains here in Europe to get it. And tornadoes and hurricanes, like where in Germany do you have a common problem of hurricanes and tornadoes? You don't, really. So I'm used to building like this. This goes into another video from the same guy that I saw where he was pointing out how a German roof was built. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I was working as a Dachdecker and Zimmermann here in the Hanover area. And I did a lot of this in the US. And from what I saw, things here in Germany are either extremely underbuilt because a lot was built after World War II and put up quickly and cheaply. You know, don't ignore that. It was done. I've seen it. And a lot of these houses are being rebuilt. They've been rebuilt. And so you've got a lot of upgrades, you know. There's a lot of economical and societal comparisons to be made. And I guess because I've got experience living in such drastically different climates, and I've got experience building houses, I easily get annoyed when I see people online, especially Germans, that, you know, if you don't know, like, your opinion is only based on what you assume and what you've been told. Overall, my experience with like building roofs and stuff here in Germany was greatly unimpressed. Things are either, as I said, they're either underbuilt or overbuilt. Like the over-engineered. Like this is a thing. I can't believe how overly done I saw things that were just beyond necessary. And I know that it's beyond necessary because I've built in other extreme environments. About 24 years ago, I was in college for 1 year and studied some engineering courses. So like I do have a little bit of experience with the study part, but I've got a lot more experience with the hands-on and building. So I'm rambling a lot here, and I'm sorry, but there's so much. I think I could I could make an hour-long video or make like several parts really detailing this. But trust me at least a little bit from my experience and my opinion, having seen and worked with and dealt with and lived with these two different scenarios. Overall, it's really difficult to compare. Like house building between Germany and the US. Because I really think that the economical part plays a lot into it. Because with that, I think the average German is a little bit more capable of spending a bit more, because you have more people in the US living in single-family homes that really cannot afford it. So in Germany, when you live in a single-family home, it's probably something that you were able to afford to do one way or another. So it's really hard to make these comparisons. It's really hard. Americans can build good stuff. Germans can build good stuff. But also the flip side. Germans go cheap and build crap too, just like Americans do. You know, you can't escape it, and nothing's really better than the other. So all of this stuff about how, oh, we've got houses that are, 300 years old. Well, there's some of that in the US too, but let me tell you something about those houses that are 300 years old. I guarantee that all of the windows, the plumbing, the electrical, all of that has been upgraded and redone many times. So just because the structural part has stayed, the US has a lot of that too. But you're living in a much older land here in regards to, modern living. Take a look at how life was in the US, North America area 300 years ago. Hey, a little editing note. Yes, I'm totally laying in my bed while I go through and edit this video. But I'd like to add, I mentioned 300 years ago, but let's just go back to 1900. It's hard to compare because clearly since then, in the past 100 years, the borders of Germany has changed greatly. But since 1900, the population of the US has grown roughly 5 times. And at the same time, there was roughly 53 million German-speaking people. And now there's like 83, 84. So, like, the population hasn't even doubled for Germany. Like, where the US had to build quickly for growth, Germany had to rebuild and then just upgrade. So, like, there's no comparisons. So, these are all things to consider. So, like, it's a really stupid thing to brag about that Germany builds houses better, because no, I'm sorry. It's not true. Like, we have double and triple pane windows in the US too. That's, yeah, not such a big deal. Sorry. Hey, so just another quick additional edit note. I'd like to point out a big difference when comparing building in Germany and using like concrete and stone and brick with wooden houses in the US. When you just consider the fact that the resource material in the US, it was just always simply easier to build and manufacture out of wood because of the abundance of trees that were being cut down and harvested. And that's a totally different, that's such a big different topic here, because we could say that Germany had trees too, and yeah, they cut them down, but then put in a lot of work to rebuild the forests. So that's opening up such a big can of worms there. But I just wanted to point that out. So because of resources, it was more logical for Germany to build with stone, brick, concrete, whatnot. But yeah. If there's anything within that, if you have any questions, please ask. I really tried to brush through this. Like, thank you for watching. I really tried to brush through this as quickly as possible, and I'm still talking for 15 minutes nearly, because it's such a big topic, you know. But like, no, this. I mean this in the nicest way possible, but there's too much arrogance. I see it over and over again. I worked with it. Like, German construction and house building is not superior to the US. Just because of the fact that it is honestly impossible to make a proper comparison. And a lot of that is, as I said, economical, and just also based on the weather. So, like, that's a good point too. So, like, if you're looking at houses in the US needing to be rebuilt, or something like roofs needing to be rebuilt, you don't get the extreme weather here in Germany that much of the US gets. So, yeah, your roof, the exterior of your house, all of this stuff is gonna last longer. You know, when it's not so heavily pounded with rain, snow, hot, cold, all of this. These are all outside elements that really weather and break down your house sooner. So, like, stop with these comparisons, please. I know you're not. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. That's why, like, we're all here. But do you get what I mean? I really hope you do. I hope you trust my opinion a little bit. I've got no reason to lie to you. You know, like, I'll call it out, good or bad. I don't care if it's from the US or from Germany. Like, I try to be very straightforward and honest with my opinions on this stuff. And actually, I've been quiet on this for a long time. Like, because I didn't really know how to say it, but I want this video today to be a bit more of a, like, response reaction, just because this morning I saw those couple videos and I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this. Like, too many people have got the wrong opinions. I'm sick of these overly shocked videos from Americans. We're like, oh my God, look at what Germany has. We don't have this in the US. Well, or you just haven't seen it. So, yeah, that's it. If you want to know more, like, yeah, please ask some questions. I'll try my best to answer, because I know I skipped, this is such a major thing and I just blew right through it. Maybe there's something, if you'd like a deeper opinion or my thoughts on it, please ask me. I'm hoping that that's not a kiss of death right there. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to stick around, please subscribe. I appreciate that. And yeah, moving into this upcoming year, let's grow, and I want to show you more of my life, more about me, and let's just see what happens. So I hope you're all having a good day, and see you again soon. Bye, Robin.